From censored files to clear evidence, this is Redacted Realms.
What makes South Korea love Vietnam so much? When mentioning the leading Asian dragons and tigers, we often immediately think of China and Japan. These are the world's second and third largest economies, with widespread influence across the region, especially in Southeast Asia. China and Japan are pouring billions of dollars in investments into countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and the Philippines. However, there is another Asian country closely following China and Japan in terms of foreign direct investment volume, and that is South Korea. Over the past half-century, this country has risen to become a wealthy economy with strongly developed high technology. So, who is South Korea's main overseas investment partner? It is another Southeast Asian country, Vietnam. So why do Koreans love Vietnamese people so much? Let's explore with D2T. Unlike China, where investment is mainly through state agencies, in Japan, which balances state and private investment, South Korea invests abroad primarily through private economic conglomerates. According to data from the Ministry of Planning and Investment, South Korea's total FPI into Vietnam from 1988 to September 2022 reached $80.5 billion, with a total of 9,400 projects. This makes South Korea the largest foreign investor in Vietnam. For comparison, Japan's FPI in our country is about $64 billion, while China's is $21 billion. Since Vietnam opened its economy and the foreign investment law was first enacted in 1988, South Korea has become one of the first cooperative partners. Over nearly 30 years, this relationship has grown increasingly strong, especially after the two countries signed a free trade agreement in This agreement helped double FDI from the land of kimchi into Vietnam. Among Korean investors, the most prominent is the giant technology conglomerate Samsung. Even in its home country, this group has made significant contributions to the economy and has deep and broad social. And they are also the largest investor in Vietnam. Samsung aims to make Vietnam a special overseas production hub. Additionally, subsidiaries like Samsung Electronics and Samsung Electromechanics have also invested billions of dollars in our country. Samsung Electronics alone has invested $18 billion, equivalent to about a quarter of South Korea's total FDI. A series of Samsung Electronics factories have been opened, starting in Anh Minh, then expanding to Thanh Nguyen, Ho Chi Minh City, and Hanoi. By the end of March 2023, Samsung reached the milestone of producing nearly 1.9 billion high-tech products in Vietnam. Among them, the Samsung factory in Anh Minh produced over 915.7 million products, while the factory in Thanh Nguyen produced over 946.3 million products. These nearly 1.9 billion devices include smartphones, tablets, smartwatches, and computers. Made in Vietnam. While this Korean conglomerate is the world's second largest mobile device manufacturer, just behind it, thanks to this, Vietnam has made unexpected progress, becoming a key global mobile, accounting for about 1/5 of the country's total export products. In 2021, Samsung Electronics Vietnam achieved $65 billion in revenue, and the group announced it will continue to invest even more strongly in. Besides Samsung, another technology giant is LG. In 1995, this group first entered Vietnam. Since then, they have invested $5.3 million. Although not as much as Samsung, LG's FDI flow has continuously increased over the Recently, the group's vice chairman, Mr. Quan Bong Sok, announced an additional $4 billion investment in Vietnam. The LG group mainly operates in fields such as electronic device manufacturing, home appliances, and automotive components. The LG factory in Hai Phong was built in a famous industrial equipment zone, creating jobs for over 70,000 workers. It can be seen that Samsung and LG are leading many other Korean businesses to invest in our country. During the South Korean president's visit in June 2023, thousands of key leaders from many conglomerates and companies, including Hyundai, LG, Lotte, Hoi Hoangtron, Hanwha, Hanjin. The South Korean ambassador to Vietnam stated that this is the largest business delegation in recent foreign visits. It can be seen that the economic, investment, and trade cooperation between South Korea and Vietnam is developing very well. The question arises, Why is South Korea increasingly valuing Vietnam? The first reason, attracting not only South Korea but also many other investors, is the very stable political system and economy managed by a single political party. Vietnam has no power struggles among political parties or religions, creating stable conditions for development. Next, although the area is not too large compared to neighboring countries, Vietnam has a large population, soon reaching the milestone of 100. They realize this is a very large consumer market, even larger than South Korea. In particular, the growing middle class and young population favoring technological products are also advantages for Korean corporations. The labor force's skill level is increasingly high thanks to training at technology centers established by Samsung. Additionally, the South Korean government is advocating a shift towards South Asia and South. If the main partner in South Asia is India with a market of 1.4 billion people, the focus in Southeast Asia is Vietnam. Our country not only has a large population but also a strategic central location in the region, situated on Asia's muscle. Besides many development potentials, South Korea also wants to reduce dependence on traditional trade partners like the US and China. These two countries are in an economic war, significantly impacting Asia's fourth largest economy. The Vietnamese state always prioritizes industrialization, modernization, and increasingly opening up, especially to traditional partners. Many people think Vietnam's low labor costs are a factor attracting investment.
But in reality, the average wage of our workers is twice that of Laos, Myanmar, Malaysia,
and 30% to 45% higher than Cambodia, Thailand, and the Philippines. Nevertheless, Vietnam remains more attractive to South Korea than other Southeast Asian. Another connection between the two countries is culture. In fact, Vietnam is very fond of South. The K-pop idol trend has spread across Asia since the 1990s. Especially the group Blackpink once came to Vietnam, making the public, especially the youth, extremely excited.
Through ODA funding, South Korea is focusing on investing in infrastructure,
education, healthcare, and rural development. The cooperation between the two countries is certainly not a one-way relationship. For Vietnam, this brings many economic development benefits. Products manufactured in Vietnam will earn significant foreign currency. At the same time, Korean companies create many jobs, promoting local development. These industries are mainly high-tech, hoping to improve the labor forces. This is also how Korean companies transfer technology to Vietnam. It not only stimulates the economy but also promotes research at a high intelligence domain. Corporations like Samsung and LG increase profits and have a vast consumer market. From this position, they easily access the entire Southeast Asia region specifically, and this is why South Korea is increasingly pouring investment capital into Vietnam. The speed and scale of South Korea's investment in our country are growing. With the FTA free trade agreement, tariffs for many product lines between Vietnam and South Korea. In the future, many Korean corporations will continue to expand investment and business in Vietnam. Many Koreans, including international students, have come to Vietnam to study, work, and live. Vietnam also has a Subscribe to the Gian Migo channel so you know this exciting video.
If this file opened your eyes, subscribe and open the next case.